Baruch, our most beloved Heavenly Parents, today, Wednesday, the 2nd of April 2014, we pray that today will be a victorious day for everyone. Our Unification movement, from the true family with our true mother here on earth and true father in heaven, true children, true grandchildren, and all the members all over the world, the first, the second, and the third generation. We pray for victory always. We pray for the success and that they can reach their goal, like our world headquarters and all the continental leaders and the national leaders, like our Reverend and Dr. Michael Balcom here on New York. We pray for the staff and all the families that are always united and supporting the national headquarters here in America. We pray as well for all the regions and districts, especially here in District 1, with our own director, Reverend Ernest Patton, and his wife, Keiko Patton. And we pray as well for all the leaders, the pastors, the center leaders of all the churches and centers all over the world. We pray for the Mid-Atlantic area in Tulsa, Maryland. We pray for Reverend James Stewart, and in Norfolk, Virginia, we pray for Reverend Eva Ozaki, and in Richmond, Reverend Adrian Bond. We pray for his congregation there. We pray for the Beltway. We pray for Ms. LeJeune in Northern Virginia, and in Maryland, we pray for Reverend William Stevens and his wife and the co-pastors like Ms. Jones. We pray that they can even surpass their goal and really contribute to the region, and compared to all the other regions, we pray that they too can achieve more things. And we pray as well for the Washington Family Church, that we have Pastor Rev. Zagery Oliver and his wife Wasana and daughter Brianna. We pray for unity, pray for each other's success. We pray for the guidance of all our divine principle lecturers and all the members of the council. We pray that we can always bring peace and harmony to our congregation, and here in this most powerful city in this world, we pray that we can be brother people who can help us to reach our goal. And we pray all this in all our names and in my name, Athanasius Francis C, blessed the family. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Good morning. We're still reading the way of unification in God's providence. And now we're on page 433. If Father mobilizes your family, you must do it now. Schooling for your sons and daughters shouldn't be a problem. Now is the time for total mobilization. You should be proud of the sons and daughters of blessed families because they have originated from God's will and are stronger than those communist students. If you are born as a woman, you must think of yourself as representing all women. You must work much harder than the women representatives of the Communist Party. The same for men. If the evil wind is blowing, we must overcome and defeat them as the wind of goodness. Those who receive the direction work hard and go through hardships. The person in charge who issued the direction cannot live an easy life. The leader must have a heart to feel sorrow and pain of his people in front of God. Without this kind of heart, the organization of this leader will certainly perish. When he has time, he must pray for them, visit them, and talk with them. Father has always been living this kind of life. You must follow Father's direction absolutely. Is there any objections? There is none, is there? Your sons and daughters should not be the problem. If you are thinking and caring only about your husband, you must lead him to his spiritual death. If you are thinking and caring only about your sons and daughters, you may be leading them to their spiritual death. Your family can become a source of resentment. That's why I scold women who only took care of their own families. Aren't you in the situation now? As I just described, you faced oppositions and your path has been blocked. That's why such a situation has emerged. Just as Moses led 60,000 people of Israel, Father is now fulfilling the same mission, centering on the families of Unification Church. In the unification of the world, when Father tells a family to go, and if the people in the family said, we cannot go because we have families and they will perish. A husband should not say, I cannot go because I have a wife. If he says so, his family will perish. When we cross over the valley, we must successfully go over. When we go over the river, we must succeed in doing so. When we go over the water, we must be successful in doing so. When we swim across the river, we must successfully do so. You must know that now is such a time. You must cross the river which is to be crossed. The people of Israel perished because they did not cross the Jordan River. You must understand this. Do you understand the significance of the Jordan River? It is the river which is the border between the satanic world and God's world. If the husband can cross the river, he must do so, while tying a rope to the neck of his wife and then pulling it. You must know this. Father and mother must take an adventurous and risky step for the sake of their children. We're now on page 434. You must understand what we are now in such a time. Man and woman must become one in mind and body. Our heart, one mind. Children also must become one in heart with their parents. They all must become completely one in heart and in mind with God and Father. Then they must cross over the borderline. When they receive the final direction from Father, they must immediately leave their families. You must know that such a time is approaching right before our eyes. The moment you receive the command to cross the Jordan River, the situation was the same at the time when the Israelites crossed the Red Sea. They had to cross at the moment God separated the ocean. If they missed that moment, they would have all died. Now, the mobilization direction has been issued to all women. Have they all gone? If you first think about your sons and daughters, your husband and your wife, your idea is a family-centered idea. God's idea is not a family-centered idea. God has a cosmos-centered idea. The Messiah does not have a family-centered idea. He is a liberator to emancipate all nations. Anyone can fall unless he is committed to walk with the path of the Messiah. So this is from a speech on 1987, January 10. If Father told you to mobilize all men and women at a certain date and time, will you do it or will you not? You must do it. For what do you do it? For the sake of God's will. What will you do for the sake of God's will? You must save Korea. For what do we save South Korea? It is for the liberation of North Korea. For what do you liberate North Korea? You must liberate Asia. For what do you liberate Asia? For the sake of the world. And for what do you liberate the world? You must liberate God and the entire realm of His kingdom. Letter A. The reason why women are mobilized. Why has Father mobilized women at this time? Mother has been setting a condition to embrace and save both the democratic and communist realms on the worldwide level. We are establishing the foundation on a family level centering on Korea. which can be the basis to defend against Satan. This is a view based upon the principle. Father has mobilized women of blessed families this time for this reason. The blessing is given whenever you reach out. You must know this. In the place where your words and speeches are carried, the history of resurrection and the history of recreation will be born. You must understand this. You must know that we need many places which can initiate the explosion of love. There is no other than those in the Unification Church who can take part of this mission. For this reason, Father mobilizes women at this time. A woman broke the way of heavenly love. 2 children, Cain and Abel, were born because of the fall of a woman. A woman gave birth to satanic sons and daughters. The blood lineage has been reversed by her. Because women could not meet Adam, a man who had God's true love, they have become miserable and have created a satanic world which ended up to be this divided, sinful world. Because of the first separation, which was caused by false love, the world has been divided into democracy and communism. This is history. Representing these 2 worlds, Korea must be united centering on the 38th parallel. This will be a historical event. Here, women must embrace the right and the left. Women must embrace both the elder son and second son, so that the elder son comes to visit the second son. Korean people must unite with mother's love and must develop the movement to melt North Korea with genuine love. How can we mobilize women? Women are important. If women are mobilized, men cannot take action as well. Father mobilizes blessed families. Now you have a good fortune. Father has already achieved success and needs no help from you. I'm going to help you, but you do not have to help me. You can achieve success based upon my accomplishment. Letter B, the meaning and the purpose of the third mobilization. Rev. Oliver, should I continue? This is 1, 2, 2.5 pages. Fairly new topic.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
How many pages?
1.5 plus 2, that's 2.5 pages more.
No, you can stop there.
Okay, so we ended up today on page 435 with the last topic, the reason why women are mobilized. And tomorrow we'll read the letter B, the meaning and the purpose of the third mobilization. And today we started on page 433, which is part of number 8, the third mobilization for the unification of North and South Korea. In fact, we just read 2.5 pages today. So is there anybody who wants to share about our reading today. You can include again the mobilization area as part of the third mobilization for the unification of North and South Korea, and also the reason why women are mobilized. So, going back to the main topic, I just read to you at least a paragraph. Number 1, mobilization area. Did you hear that when the wife goes out witnessing this time, she should go back to her hometown? And the answer was yes. Do you know why I said this? It is because women, not men, have to open the door and show the example. Open the door of sincere loyalty. In that way, the people who oppose us will surrender. So this is a speech from November 8, 1987. So, anybody else? Good morning, Eva-san.
Those who receive the direction work hard and go through hardship. The person in charge wishes direction cannot live an easy life. The leader masters their heart into sorrow and pain of his people in front of God. Without the son of the heart, the organization of this leader will certainly perish. When he has time, he must pray for them, visit them, and talk to them. God has always been living this kind of life. And in the second paragraph, you must follow Father's direct absolutely. Is there any objection? There's none. Your sons and daughters should not be the problem. If you're thinking and caring only about your husband, you may make him spiritual to death. If you're thinking and caring only about your sons and daughters, you may be leading them to their spiritual death. Your family can become a source of resentment. That is why it's called women, not who only took care of their own families. Aren't you in the situation now that I just described? You face opposition and your path has been blocked. That's why such a situation has emerged. And yeah, it's really, these are really strong words, you know. Like Father said, if you're thinking and caring about your husband, you may be good to death, you know. And you know, only think about your sons and daughters, you know, this is, and you know, I think really amazing. Because I'm really comparing that time, and it looks like it was 1987. I was, you know, I don't know, I thought it was more earlier, but actually, my father must be here, so 1987. So, you know, this is really like life and death, you know. At that time, it was really, you know, very much needed, you know. I remember, you know, when this engineering was, we need to get out of the wilderness. It was the wilderness first, right? And now we have to go get in Canaan, so it's a different situation, you know. But I really believe it's really a balance, you know. We need a balance of, you know, taking care of families and doing the public mission, you know, because like Father said, if we really, you know, invest ourselves in our public mission and witness, we receive life, you know, our family receives life. God protects our family, you know. So, you know, it's really, like Father said, it's really true what he says, you know. To take care of God's will, you know, our family receives life, you know. But we cannot be, because at that time was really, it was necessary and the providence very extreme, you know. But I think, now I think the challenge is to really have a balance, you know, to take care of families, to do both, you know. So that's my, and the other thing, I was really moved, you know, like the other part, which I was reading that Father said that the person in charge, you know, issuing a kind of leader to easy life, you know, he must have their heart to feel sorrow and pain of these people in front of God, you know. I thought this is really, the father said even when he sent to the communist countries, right, father could not always he was thinking about it, what might happen to them, and that's really, the heart of a parent, not just the leader, but I think it's the parent part, that really, yeah, for his children when they are difficulty to, campaign, he had to ask them to do this. I was really moved by this. I know, Father. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Eva-san. Anybody else? If you read further in 433,
Yeah, can you hear me?
yes,
On this, I have another poem, so I'm not sure. Thank you, Eva. One of the things that I was thinking about reading just this particular book, first with communism and democracy and a variety of things that, for me, 10 years ago, I would listen to it. I just didn't think it as much. And then the Father is going to, in great detail and depth, in reference to women and the role of women. They're great roles, and they went through, Father prepared women for the first time in human history. They had to go and they had to pay very deep debts and prices and hardship, but at the same time, as you read, they can open the doors to true loyalty, and lead the way. That's power right there. And so just listening to this particular book and reading, it's almost reminding me what foundation that we're standing on and how incredible True Father has predicted and led history. Even in detail, that would, in some respects, some people read it and think it's not relevant at this time. But it is. And, from it, when we read other books, your Father's talking about the meaning of true love and true love, a very different spirit. But those words have progressed over the course of history, or the course of his life, as he made these extraordinary foundations in order to get to the point where he can talk about the true meaning of true love and how we have to live true love and blah 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 and Changyabguk, all of those things. If what we're reading had not happened, it could not happen, then what we hear now in Chan Tsung Gang book and all those ones that are really focusing not just on restoration but on true love, it never have happened. And so how much more now that we're reading this, how much more I appreciate it than I did a while back, just listening to it, this course of history. Thank you.
yes, thank you, Reverend Oliver.
Thank you, Reverend Oliver, so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, anybody else? So if you have the book, you can go back to 432. What is significant is men in blessed families must assist women so that women can observe Father's order without hindrance. So it's a very important, message to all the men or the husbands of all blessed families. So if there's nothing else, let's all rise and have unison prayer. Our most beloved Heavenly Parents, we're so thankful for this reading today. Even it's so short, it's really impacting us and sympathizing also, and making us sympathize with all those blessed lives who have gone in the first mobilization in the 1970s to 1972, and the second mobilization in the 80s, and lately our Heavenly Parents, you are directing all women on the third mobilization with their families to go back to their hometowns. We pray that we can always follow your directions, as we already have picked up our hometowns in South Korea, where we can visit at least once in our lifetime and mobilize the people there and bring them to your presence. We pray that they too would really join all the other hometowns all over South Korea to liberate North Korea. And we pray that, as Father mentions, that if we liberate North Korea, we can liberate Asia. And if we liberate Asia, it is now like a tinderbox now compared to Middle East before. There's a lot of confrontation with Japan and China, even my country, the Philippines, and China, and many other countries against China. And of course, North Korea and South Korea, they are sending, even testing missiles that go to the sea, but it goes to land. We pray that it would be on minimal damage, and we pray that we can really strive so hard with all the brothers and sisters, especially in Korea, to bring the unity of North and South, because it would be for the liberation of the world. And if we liberate the world, we liberate God and the realm of the kingdom of heaven here on earth, the Chungil. We pray for each other's success. We pray always, Heavenly Parents, that we can always attend to you at the right time on our condition, and we pray for the good health of all the blessed families, the blessed children, and all those blessing candidates and those people that we are inviting around here and in our places of work and places where we do witnessing. We pray for each other's success. We pray all of this in all our names and in my name, Athanasius Francis C. Catalan, blessed Central Family. Aju, aju, aju. Uri sonen ton, you numero sonen ton, you imo son bacio soton, you ton you Emilio ora. Good morning to you, our beloved true parents of heaven and earth and humankind. Good morning, true children, true grandchildren, and all the members here in Washington, D.C. and all over the world. Good morning. Good morning, Brother Oliver. Good morning, everyone. Have a nice and warm Wednesday. Good morning.